Hello everybody, hope you're enjoying this holiday season, and I'm back once again for just a little video to talk to you about the forthcoming UK releases for March of 2024. We have two titles that have been announced from our distributor here in the UK, Spirit Entertainment, and they're coming out in the month of March. Very exciting, the first release, which is coming on the screen now. It's the film from 1939, The Roaring Twenties. I'm certainly really pleased to see this particular film coming to the UK Criterion collection. It's also, of course, getting a release in the US. It's made in 1939. The Jazz Age had taken place, prosperity and freedom for flappers and others, and of course the Prohibition era. And then the economy crashed in the Wall Street crash of 1929, leading, of course, to the start of the Great Depression. Now, The Roaring Twenties is a 1939 American crime thriller, and it stars James Cagney, Priscilla Lane, Humphrey Bogart, and Gladys George. There's a still shot, of course, with James Cagney. And this picture was based on The World Moves On, a short story by Mark Hellinger, a columnist at the time who'd been hired by studio head Jack L. Warner to write screenplays for him. The movie, of course, is hailed as a classic in the gangster movie genre, and is considered an homage to the classic gangster movie from the early 1930s. The film The Roaring Twenties was the third and the last film that James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart made together. The other two, of course, were Angels with Dirty Faces from 1938 and The Oklahoma Kid from 1939. Now, the film has a set of features on it. It's an audio commentary with the film historian Lincoln Hurst, a new interview with the critic Gary Giddens, a regular contributor to Criterion, an excerpt from the 1973 interview with director Raoul Walsh. There is a trailer and an essay by the film critic Mark Aish. And the spine is 1208, so it's one of the new releases, not previously been seen in the collection. Now, that is very exciting news about that particular release. Here's information for this. The Roaring Twenties releases on Monday, the 11th of March next year. Blu-ray is $22.99 and the 4K will be $29.99. I certainly have my pre-order in for that one, and very exciting 4K restoration coming to the collection on that. There's been another really exciting release in previous years, and that was, of course, Double Indemnity, and that came out brilliantly on 4K, and I think The Roaring Twenties should be equally as good and equally as popular a seller in the collection in the US and, of course, here in the UK. Lots of people love that film. And the next film coming to the collection is Dazed and Confused, also out next March. Now, this film, of course, had a release upgrade to 4K in February of 2023 in the US collection. So we're seeing that around about, just about a year later in the UK collection. We always run a little bit behind the US, to be fair. But again, it's a very popular 90s film. I think there'll be three films I can think of off the top of my head about coming of age teen angst in the 90s. And that would be, of course, John Hughes' The Breakfast Club, this film, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. All comedy films, really, but there are three of them, I think, all fall into the same category. Very pleased to see the 4K release of this coming out in the collection. Just let me show you the actual packaging for this. As you can see, it's quite impressive. It's the same packaging as we've had all the way through its life in the collection. Very, very clever idea with the book and then the holes in the front cover and the book. You can see the images of the main protagonist in the film. And then you've also got the very cleverly designed disc itself and just that really funky look it has, and a poster inside as well from the film. So that's coming to 4K in the UK, and let me give you the information on that. It's coming out on the 25th of March. It's on 4K, $29.99 is the price point for that, and the Blu-ray price point is $22.99. Releasing on Monday the 25th of March. Let me just show you some excellent still shots from that. There's the three lads who get chased by the seniors at the end of the school year. The film set in 1976, incidentally. And there, of course, are, I would say, some stars in the making here in this film, because Ben Affleck is playing a bully and he chases the young students at the end of the school year with a baseball bat. There he is. And of course, we have Parker Posey in there with the girls. There she is doing her pose. Matthew McConaughey, of course, is in the boy posse, along with some excellent actors. Cole Hauser, Mila Jovovich is in the film as well, and the soundtrack's great too. The restoration on 4K certainly shows the film at its best, and my assumption will be that the UK will get the same digipack release, of course, that, as I said earlier, it'll have had all the way through its Criterion release life. You can see that once again on the screen now. Same set of features, of course, an audio commentary there featuring Linklater making The Dazed, a documentary by Cahin Cooperman, rare on-set interviews and behind-the-scenes footage from the 10-year anniversary celebration for the film, audition footage and deleted scenes, and a trailer and essays written by the critics Kent Jones, Jim DeRogatis and Chuck Klosterman, reprinted recollections of the film from the cast and the crew, and character profiles from the Dazed and Confused companion book, as well as the original film poster that you can see here. That's the original film poster at the back of Dazed and Confused, and that was designed by Frank Kozik. Dazed and Confused is, well, less about the best years of our lives than the boredom, angst and excitement of teenagers who are waiting for something to happen. It's already in the collection, as I say, Spine 336. So there are your two releases coming to the UK roster, March of next year. If you haven't both of them in your collection, get your pre-orders in now. The Amazon links are on the screen. There we go. There's the Roaring Twenties from 1939. 4K release, and that's the link for it there. And then we have Dazed and Confused, 4K release and Blu-ray. The link for that is there, coming out on the 25th of March. Also, of course, our normal release day in the UK, which is a Monday. So there you have it. So the Roaring Twenties, by the way, is out on the 11th of March. Recommended price $22.99 for Blu-ray and $29.99 for 4K. So what's coming up next in Let's Talk Criterion? This. The Apu Trilogy, coming to 4K on the 2nd of January. Sadly, only in the US at this time. I know, not good news for UK fans of this particular director, of course, who is Sanjit Ray. Here is the packaging for this. 3 films going through the life of a boy into an adolescent into a young man. The boy's name, of course, is Apu. And this is a great and popular trilogy in the collection, has been since its initial release. 3 films, Pathar Panchali, Aparajito and Apur Sansar. Absolutely fantastic work by this Indian director, who I have to say has a lot of titles in the collection, but this I think is his greatest work by far, because it traverses the life of one individual and all that he encounters. It's got pathos in the film. It's very, very touching and a fantastic watch. And if you can watch all 3 films back to back, it's an even more rewarding watch. So there we have it. I will be doing a special edition of Let's Talk Criterion, actually recording it in the next few days, on the Apu Trilogy for a release on the channel just before the new year. So you can look forward to that. And on that note, I am going to leave you for 2023. This will be the last edition of Let's Talk Criterion for this year, and I will be back in 2024. So from me, and hopefully all my subscribers, can I just wish you all a very happy new year, and keep watching those Criterion movies. Bye for now.